For those of you that missed it, I know TikTok didn't. We're going to start this thing over. Let's do this. Let's go. It's the Cowboys Cast, baby. You already know, man. You already know. Hey, I had to go live. This is the deal. There's some good news. TikTok's tracking already. Hey, the NFL is going to $255 million for the salary cap. $255 million. That's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of money. That means the NFL is making a lot of money right now. And we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about how does that affect us, maybe some other teams. But tell me what y'all think in the comments. The NFL salary is at $255 million. If you read, and I'm going to read y'all everything that we had. And there's Jose. Hey, let's give Jose a round of applause. Let's give Jose a round of applause, man. I gotta give him a round of applause. Hold on, Jose. Let my other one break off a little bit. I still had the intro on. But Jose says, "What's up, brother?" Hey, Jose. Hey, this news about this NFL salary cap, man, at $255 million is crazy. It's crazy. But here, we'll give you the official applause. Jose, we haven't been on in a while, man. Hey, well, I already know why, but look, I'll just leave it at this. Jose, your family, man, the prayers are with you, brother. You and your family for sure, man. I definitely pray for you, so keep your head up. But we appreciate you being on, man. So the salary cap is at $255 million, and I want to read every single thing that Ian Rappaport put out because, you know, it's Ian Rappaport, man. So Ian Rappaport says, salary cap news. The NFL announced that the 2024 salary cap will be $255 million per club with an additional $74 million per club payment for player benefits. It's a lot of money per club, which includes performance-based pay and benefits for retired players. Total 2024 player cost will be $329.4 million per club, or more than $2.5 billion league-wide. The unprecedented $30 million increase per club in this year's salary cap is the result of the full repayment of all amounts advanced by the clubs and deferred by the players during the COVID pandemic, as well as an extraordinary increase in media revenue for 2024 season. There it is, man. It's pretty crazy. Jose says, bad thing we don't have money to throw around this year, especially with Dak taking $60 million. Well, Jose, I think we need to backtrack on that a little bit. Listen, man. The thing is, I think we need Dak to sign an extension so we can save money. I think that's the biggest thing. Is I think we can save a lot of money. I think right now, if they change the over the cap, I believe we're $9 million over the cap, which is not really a lot. But if you take Dak's consideration into extension, then we're probably talking about, I'll tell you right now, so I'm exact, an extension, we're talking about saving $26 million in the salary cap. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. So if you look at that and the $9 million closer to 10, we're looking at being under the cap roughly by $16 million just with Dak. So, and that's not even talking about Zach Martin. We'll save $13 million for him. DeMarcus Lawrence, we could do an extension for him maybe. So CD Lamb, we extend him, we save another $13 million. So there's a lot of money that we could save depending on how the Cowboys do this or play this salary cap with $255 million. It's a lot of money. So I'm not too worried, Jose. I think Stephen Jones got this down, so I think we'll be all right. Jose says true, but that's the double-edged sword scenario again next season. Not to be negative. Yeah, I get it. I think it just comes down to the contract of Dak and CeeDee Lamb and how much, how far are you going to kick that contract down the line to kind of in the mode of win now, right? So John on TikTok, welcome John. He says Jimmy Johnson. Yeah, what about Jimmy Johnson? Let me know. So those are the kind of things that we got to look at, right? Some of these players, I believe, are not they're not on the roster. So we got to think about some of these things. And then also you got to think Michael Gallup, right? Which I'm pretty sure they're probably going to cut him maybe post June 1st. And that would save the Cowboys roughly about, with the dead money and cap save, maybe about 5 million. So there's more money there too as well. John says on TikTok he is back helping with decisions. I mean, that's what everybody thinks, and I hope Jerry takes all his input with everything he's got, man, because I think it's important. John Gallup needs to go. Yeah, I think Gallup is gone. What do y'all think? I think he is, with the production that he was or that he had compared to what the contract was. I don't think it adds up. Unfortunately, I like Michael Gallup. I think depending on how you play Michael Gallup, he's a 50-50 ball to me, a slant, a bang route. Like, that's the kind of player he is to me. So as long as you use him that way, I think he'll be productive, but you got to get him the ball. And I just don't think he was, CeeDee Lamb was the number one target. So that's what they went with. But yeah, man, 255 million is a lot. So, I think this plays into Jerry's all in, saying, or whatever he wants to say. I think this helps out a lot. But then again, you also have to look on the flip side, the 255 million that we might use for the Cowboys and get free agents. Now we're talking about, now these other teams have more money to spend as well, and maybe lure those players with more money. So, hey, Jerry Jones has to come up with some Jerry Jones things and figure stuff out, and wine and dime people when they come into the Dallas Cowboys and figure it out, because I think with the roster that you have right now is so talented that you cannot miss out on the talent that you have in Micah Parsons, CeeDee Lamb, some of those players, even Trayvon Diggs, Deron Bland. You cannot waste that talent like Jerry Jones has wasted talent before. I think you do have to go all in. I think you have to go get some of these free agents that you think are really good and make this team better. And I think that's the way you go. Mike Garcia on TikTok says, our DC is an old dinosaur. The NFL already knows his tendencies. We are not innovated. I mean, we don't know that yet. So, I mean, he's been out for a little bit. I get it. And I understand the mentality of what you're saying. But in my honest opinion, I think you give Mike Zimmer a chance, man. Maybe they're a little bit more disciplined than I have been on the run. And then you get the players that he wants, as at least as linebackers. I honestly think if we had another defensive tackle, a 330 guy, like Micah said, and we have true off the ball linebackers, I think it's a different story in the playoffs. In my opinion, I think that's the difference in those games. We just didn't have the personnel, and we didn't adjust. Which, for me personally, I probably would have gone 5 defensive linemen and live with that. We're going to lose anyways if we don't. We might as well just go 5 defensive linemen and try to stop the run and stop Love that way, but we didn't do it. Matthew Ross says the fact that Zimmer runs a lot of zones scares me. I mean, that might change, Matthew, with the personnel that you got, because you got to think, I think Xavier Rhodes was probably one of the top corners he had, and maybe Newsome in his later years. But now that you have these kind of cornerbacks in Dallas, do you really go a lot of zone? I mean, do you really have to? So those are the things you got to think about. I don't think he'll stick to that script as much because of the personnel that he has. So maybe you could go man on one side and go zone on the other, and lock down Diggs with somebody, or maybe Deron Bland. So you never know, man. All we can do is wait for training camp, see what happens and what kind of scenario he has. Cynthia Morales, welcome, Cynthia. I've never seen you on here. We give them a round of applause for everybody that comes on. Welcome. 255 million. Yes, 255 million for the salary cap. So it's amazing. We'll see what the Cowboys do with it, though. And Hefed2349 says Cowboys need linebackers. The ones that they have are average. Yeah, I think that's what we're talking about. Hopefully, with this 255 million, the Cowboys will be able to, work some magic, extensions, restructures, things like that, and maybe we'll save some money and go after some of these players. So we'll see. But Matthew Ross says, I like to see them retain Gilmore. So Gilmore, right? I'm kind of iffy about that one. So this is why. Think about it. What would you rather have, Matthew, and that's a good question. So he wants to retain Gilmore. This is my question to you. Would you have Diggs on one side, Deron Bland on the outside, and then find you a nickel corner, maybe in the draft or free agency? Or do you go with Gilmore on one side, Diggs, and then Deron Bland in the middle? Deron Bland, to me, I think that's kind of leveling down a little bit. It sounds kind of bad, but it kind of is. So that's my thing. Like, I would probably rather have Deron Bland and Diggs on the outside and then try to find me a nickel corner if I can. So that's kind of what I would probably go with, just because Gilmer, don't get me wrong, he played very well, but he was also suspect a little bit because he's not as fast as he used to be. So Jose says, Jerry made a huge move with the hiring of Jimmy J, but you are right. How much say will JJ actually have and towards what? Zim has to get bigger linebackers, hands down. Yeah, I agree, Jose. I think that's what it comes down to, man. So we will see, right? Only time will tell. Mike Portia, welcome. Let's get you on the Sports Lounge Media. Hey, tell me when, man. I'm ready. You want to do it this weekend? So shoot me an email. It's the Cowboys Cast, just like it's spelled here, together at gmail.com. Send me an email, man. Send me an email and we can link up for sure. Mike Portia says Tuesday at 7 p.m. Let me think. Tuesday. I might be all right with Tuesday, actually. I might be good with that. Yeah, just let me know, man, for sure. I'm down. Just send me the link, cowboyscast at gmail.com. I'm down. Hey, man, that's how we do it. Matthew Ross says, I mean, you don't have to. Well, I'm sorry. El Jefe says Cowboys need to get Derrick Henry on TikTok. Matthew Ross says, I mean, you don't have to because of Bland. Yeah, and that's my point is, I guess it's kind of whatever you're comfortable with, or Mike Zimmer, I should say, is comfortable with. Matthew Ross says, hey, I like Bland anywhere you put him. Yeah, so do I, man. So do I. Juan says, I got inside info. Jerry's really listening to Jimmy Johnson, you mean? Trust me, Jerry trusts him's judgment. Juan says, from people inside the building. We will see, man. Only time will tell, but we know how what kind of man Jerry Jones is, man. I'll email you. All right, brother, for sure, man. Jose says, thanks, bro, for the prayers. Hey, man, we got you, bro. We're like family, brother. That's what we do here, man. Juan says, puro pedo. This is what it sounds like. The Gambler says 42-10. Okay. But I don't know. What are you trying to say? And he got some clowns on there. Let me know, man. What do you speak? He's just on here trying to troll. Let's see. So I'm going to go with some of these. Juan says 49ers, the Bills of the 90s. That's a good one. I like that one. I haven't heard that one in I don't think anybody said it when we've been on. That's a pretty good one. Let's see. I'm trying to look up something real quick. All right. Juan says Niners MLP. We all know what that means. Jose says, thanks. Yep, we already read that. Appreciate it, Jose. Thank you so much for coming in. I'm trying to figure out what Old Dominion is. That's my that's my thing. I'm trying to figure out where they're at. But yeah, guys. So like I said, I already read from Ian Apport. They made a lot of money, man. A lot of these players, retired players, are going to get a lot of benefits. And those of you that just came in and missed it, the NFL sounds like it was very successful this year. They're giving out a lot of money, well deserved, I should say, to be honest. But I'll read this again. With an additional, they're going to get additional $74 million per club payment for player benefits, which includes performance-based pay and benefits for retired players. That's $74 million per team. That's just for that, based on benefits and retired players. So a total of 2024 players costs will be $329 million per club, or more than $2.5 billion league wide. That is insane. That's a lot of money. And well deserved, honestly, man. Some of these players, man, they play 2 or 3 years and they're done for the rest of the year, not a year for their life. So let's see. Pokey Will says, been a Cowboy fan since 77, and I can't wait to see what we're drafting this year. I can't wait to. I think tell me if I'm wrong, but maybe I'm kind of giddy when it comes to this kind time of year, but isn't like almost like the playoffs and Super Bowl is almost more exciting. The draft is more exciting sometimes than the NFL playoffs and the Super Bowl, man. It's crazy, man, because you see all these players, you do the combine, they do all these things, and it's like, man, like I'm excited. I want this guy. And some of us fall in love with these different players, and we want these different players, and we don't get them, or we do get them, and it's exciting, man. Um, so we'll see, man. Jose says, thank you, Taylor Swift. I'll give that a round of applause, man. Give that a round of applause. We already know. If you know, you know. Juan says 49er fans now asking for Kirk Cousins. No names. Who's asking for Kirk Cousins, man? I don't know about that. But we're gonna keep talking about this free agency, man. Right, especially with this $255 million salary cap that the NFL is going to. It's gonna be good for everybody all around. I think a lot of players are gonna get paid what they deserve. But also, like I said, the Cowboys might be a negative thing because they're might take some players that they might have been able to get, and with some of these teams that have a lot of money, they're probably going to take them away or steal them. So, notable free agents, and I'll just throw. So you guys are tracking. I'm gonna name some of them. Some of them are probably gonna get tagged, but I'll name anyways that are pretty interesting. Obviously, everybody knows Leonard Williams, Seahawks, Chris Jones, Danielle Hunter from the Vikings, the edge, which he played with Zimmer, so that look out for that. Depending on how much he's asking for, right? He's probably asking for a lot. Mike Evans, Emmanuel Ogba. We're talking about Eddie Jackson, the safety from the Bears. Randy Gregory. I don't think we bring him back, but you never know. DJ Reader, a defensive lineman from the Bengals. Marcus Davenport, the edge from the Vikings. Adore Jackson, cornerback. Ryan Jensen, center. Hunter Henry. I don't know about Hunter Henry, but Derrick Henry for sure. Josh Jacobs, Zadarius Thomas, the edge for the Browns. Let's see, we got Yannick Nagu, edge. So there's a lot of players. Saquon. We're talking about Kendall Fuller, Michael Thomas, Stephon Gilmore, obviously. I mean, there's a lot of players that the Cowboys could probably take. Farm to Face says impossible to win it all with Dak. Hey man, everybody has all these things to say about Dak, but we will see, man. There's nobody else better than Dak, in my opinion, as far as who we have right now and who we have available to us. Unless you're gonna give a lot of picks and go up and get somebody in the top pick, I doubt it though. So Michelle King, I think it's because of how much the quarterbacks are getting paid. Teams need more room to pay others. I 100% agree with you too. It's a lot of money these quarterbacks are demanding, and I don't think. I mean, maybe Michelle, but I think it's more of these NFL teams are making a lot more money. Look at these Super Bowl teams. I mean, Super Bowl tickets and some of these playoff tickets. How much they were costing? They were so expensive, man. They made so much money. Also, the networks. If you guys don't remember, some of these games in the playoffs, the matchups were free agents. So some of these teams, I believe, some of these networks had to bid for these games for them to take over these games. So the NFL is making a lot of money. I think that has to do the majority of it, that they're making so much money that the salary cap has to go up. I think that's the major reason. But I wouldn't doubt quarterbacks getting paid a lot as well. Juan, Dak needs to give the Cowboys a home discount. I agree with you, man. But what's the discount? That's the question. What's the hometown discount, Juan? So we can help him. Yeah, I agree. Michelle King at Juan, he should, but he won't. Dak won't. I mean, that's just you guys got to think. If you're in his scenario, do you give up 60 million? Just ask him. Do you give up 60 million and take 45, 50? I don't know. Some people do, some people don't. Look at Tom Brady. Tom Brady took. I'm not saying he was getting paid the league minimum, but he wasn't making the top quarterback money at times. Like he was maybe out of the top 5 a lot of times. Um, but we'll see. Juan, with Purdy, some teams might try the same thing, try and win the rookie contracts. Yeah, I think that's the name of the game nowadays and what teams are trying to do, honestly. Got Jose. Let's see what Jose says. Jose says, I don't agree with hiring Greg Ellis. Um, I'm kind of iffy about that one too. Um, but if I'm not mistaken, I gotta look this up. I don't want to be wrong. But isn't Greg Ellis third all time in the sack for the Dallas Cowboys? That's pretty good, man. So he probably knows a lot. That's the thing. I always give everything the benefit of doubt just to make sure. Uh, Let me fact check myself real quick. Yeah, Greg Ellis is third, man. So he started with 77 sacks. Jim Jeffcoat 94, and obviously Demarcus Ware with 117. So, hey, man, I'm just saying that's a pretty good player right there. So I wouldn't so far say, hey, let's see what he's got, man. We'll see. See, Juan says Dak has too much control over the Cowboys. Michelle King says at one, I think Niners proved that ain't working. Really, it's not. Juan at Michelle King, they got to the Super Bowl. We lost on wild card. Yeah. Juan says he is third. Ellis, yeah. Michelle King says Juan at one, yeah, but they didn't win it. Can you really go all the way and win without a difference maker? Yeah. Juan says, do you think that a position will get to be like the running back position, less pay? I don't know. We'll see, man. Depends on what teams want and who they want. I think that's what it comes down to as well. Jose says, I would have tried going after D Ware. I so my thing with that is, but does D Ware want to be lured into coaching is a question, because maybe off off camera and all that he's like, no man, I won't coach, don't even ask. We don't know that. Now if that's the case, then I would definitely go after Demarcus Ware for sure, but I think honestly he likes where he's at with his family, so I don't think he's moving. Just kind of like Tony Romo, he's the same way, man. He's got a dream job, and why would he come back to the NFL and be a coach and have all those um long nights and sleepless nights. So we will see. Let's see teams. I'm gonna look at the cap space here. Um See, Juan says I'm a show king. I would take a Super Bowl loss over a wild card loss every day. Would you really though? Sorry guys, I was eating some ice. One Cowboys are over like 8 million salary cap. It's 9.9, but I'm not too worried about it, man. The Cowboys will be over with the extension of Dak, maybe paying CeeDee Lamb. That right there is about probably 40 million in cap savings, which brings your total to around 30 million. So one, I'm not worried, man. Michelle King at one, I hear you, me too. But the goal is to win the Super Bowl at some point. If Niners do it with Purdy, Michelle King, I'll change my mind. So that's the thing, guys. That's a good question. Like, would you rather go to the Super Bowl and lose it 3 or 4 times, or would you rather go to the wild card round and lose that 3 or 4 times? I mean, I don't know. Tomatoes, tomatoes. Juan, 49ers are closer than us. Yeah, 49ers are close. I'm not going to lie about that. But let's see. I'm trying to find this salary cap real quick, guys, for all the teams, so we can have a better perspective of what NFL teams have after this move, because that's going to play a big difference. Because Jerry Jones is all in. This is what he's saying. But some of these teams just got more money than than a lot of these teams, man. Um, so the Niners, Browns, Cowboys, Broncos, Chargers, Dolphins, Saints, Bills are all over the cap right now. With Niners 5 mil, Browns 7 mil over the cap, Cowboys 9.9 mil, Broncos 16, Chargers 25, Dolphins 27, Saints 42, and Bills 43. Um, Golly, Bills, that's a lot of money over the cap. Juan says Jerry always says anything to get attention. I don't think that's the deal, man. I think he knows his lifespan is short in this world, and he wants to see a Super Bowl probably before he leaves. Juan, great salesperson. Yeah, we'll see. The team with the most cap obviously is the Commanders with 79 million. Titans with 78. Patriots with 78. Bears with 78. Bengals with 72. The Colts with 72. Texans with 67. The Lions have 57. I think the most scariest teams out of all those is probably the Bengals and the Texans and the Lions. The Lions have 57 million uh cap space. That's crazy. Um so once you go down the line, some of these other teams, they just restructure and they should be fine, man. Some of these contracts or let people go. Corey Estrella says, you think Cowboys will cut some players before free agency? I think I got to look at the dates, but I think they'll probably cut Michael Gallup more than likely and make him a a June 1st post June 1st cut to save money more than likely. That's when they'll save the most amount of money. So we'll see what happens, but I'm pretty sure that's for sure one of them. I don't know about anybody else getting cut, but we'll see. At Corey Estrella, they have to one, they really don't have to cut anybody to be under the cap. They don't. They can restructure Dak's contract and they're under the cap. They can restructure CD Lamb's or give CD Lamb a new contract to extend them and they're under the cap. They can restructure or extend Demarcus Lawrence or Martin, I think, extend them. Um, and you're under the cap. So you don't have to cut anybody technically. Juan, if they're all in, Corey Estella says, I also heard that Cooks might get to Cooks. I mean, they might go a little bit younger. Juan says Bengals just used a tag on Higgins. Oh, did they? Is that? Let me see. I got this NFL tracker here. I honestly thought they weren't going to tag Higgins. I haven't heard anything. Man, I don't see that. I don't see that one. Where did you see that? I do not see that. Bengals just used the tag on Higgins. Pollard, adios. Yeah, Pollard's not coming back. Corey's the same. Soccer Gamer says Cowboys are going to be a good team next year. I believe so, depending on what they do on defense for sure. Corey still, I've been hearing Cowboys are interested in Josh Jacobs. That's not going to happen. I think he's going to get tagged. Juan, insider info, Google it. I don't know, man. Let's see. Let me see if T. Higgins got tagged. Let me see. So the franchise tag, according to Ian Rappaport, franchise tag number is expected to be around 21.8 million full guarantee for Bengals and T. Higgins, the first tag player of the window. You're right, man. Ian Rappaport just reported. Yep. I just saw it on X. So you're right, man. Good job, Juan. So T. Higgins is the first tag player under this window for the NFL, man. Good call, brother. Appreciate it. Man, they didn't want to let him go, did they? They did not want to get. They're scared, man, because they know if he left, it was over. And then obviously everybody's tracking that Xavier Howard will be released to start of the league year. So interesting. And then the other thing is Matt Araiza signing with the Chiefs on a minimal deal. Man, those guys just keep getting better, don't they? All right. So yeah, let me catch up on some of these. See, Mikey520 live me. I really don't do that, man, to be honest. I'm sorry. Soccer Gamer 445, have a wonderful night. God bless. Soccer Gamer, have a good night. Appreciate it coming on. Corey Estrella says he did get tagged. Bleacher Report. Yep, just confirmed it. Mikey says live me. Canture says saludos de Browntown. What's going on, man? Let's give him a round of applause. He's from 956, baby. Let's give him a round of applause. Cantu. Corey Estrella says if we cut Cooks and Gallup, I think we go after Evans's from Texas. I wouldn't mind that. I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't mind that. I would not mind Mike Evans. One at Corey Estrella, too much money, might go younger. Yeah, he's gonna demand probably a lot of money. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he wants another ring and he'll take some sort of a pay cut, man. We'll see. I'm not talking about league minimum, but maybe something reasonable to get him to the Cowboys. Want extra, too much money. Yep. So we'll see, man. Let's see what else we got. Let's see. Let me check X one more time before get off. Yep. So that's cool, guys. We're live, and T. Higgins is the first one to get franchise tag. I honestly thought they're going to let him walk. But you also got to think maybe the Bengals played it smart and were like, hey, let's wait for the NFL salary cap to come out, see how much it is. And they might have an opportunity to actually sign him, man. With this extra money, I think that's probably what it came down to. And they're probably going to end up signing T. Higgins to a nice contract. We'll see how much he makes, but we will see. So we'll see, man. That's awesome that T. Higgins gets franchised. Hopefully they work out a deal for him. So we'll see. Juan, we need defensive tackle. Yes, we do. Linebackers, yes. Corey Estrella says, I think Parsons talked to Jerry about going in on free agency. Yep. Michelle King, so if no Pollard, who are we getting? Probably maybe a veteran and probably going to draft a running back. I think that's what it's going to come down to. Corey Estrella says, Michelle King might be Jacobs or Barkley. Jacobs, I know for sure is not. Barkley, I think they're going to let him walk. I don't know if they franchise tag him again, but we'll see. Michelle King, I thought we would keep Pollard and add a thumper. I don't know if you can trust Pollard again for another year. Can you? I don't know if you can do that, honestly. I don't know. I don't trust that. I would rather have fresh legs, somebody that comes in that's fast, maybe a little faster than Pollard. And then you get Derrick Henry, in my opinion. But again, it all depends on how much Derrick Henry wants. How much does he want? That's the question. Juan says, now Pollard is out. I believe so too. Michelle King, he just came back from a bad injury. Yeah, but you ain't going to pay him what he's probably wants or his agent wants you to get. Not at this point. I'd rather get a Derrick Henry at a probably cheaper deal and go get me a rookie running back. Juan says, so did Gallup and look what that lead to? Yep. I think that's the Cowboys' downfall sometimes. They sign players to these deals and they don't produce, man. That's kind of like what happens. So let's see what we got. Those are all the comments. Hey guys, look, listen. Juan says, se enamoran de ellos. Yeah, they do. They fall in love with them, man. Hey, golly, man. Friday night. I appreciate all you guys. TikTok, we love you, man. We appreciate all the comments. Michelle King, Juan, We appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for coming on this live. Corey Estrella, appreciate it. Cantu Reyes, Soccer Gamer, all you guys for coming on the live. We appreciate you. We love you guys. We appreciate it. Hey, I'm probably going to go live one more time depending on what's going on this weekend, but we'll see. I'll probably have to let you guys know I'm going to go live on, I think, with Mike Porcher on Tuesday. I'll go live there too. Why not? The Sports Lounge Media will be there on Tuesday. We'll talk about whatever he wants to talk about. We'll go from there. Michelle King gave the clap up. I appreciate it, Michelle King. Thank you so much. Juan says, I miss Cowboys football. I think everybody misses football, period, man. We're like twiddling our thumbs, man. We don't know what's going on. Corey Estrella says, are you going to go live during free agency? Yes, I am. We are going to go live in free agency, man. That's just what we do. Michelle King at One Me Too. I hate this time of year for sure. Jose on the building. He says, peace and chorizo grease. We appreciate you, Jose. Thank you so much. TikTok, we appreciate you. Keep it real, TikTok. And TikTok, be nice, man. Be nice to everybody. I'll let TikTok go first. YouTube, thank you so much. We appreciate you guys. Hey, man, until next time, we'll see. We have some breaking news. We don't know. We're going to have a DAC extension. We're going to have a CeeDee Lamb extension. We don't know. Stay tuned. But as always, man, hey, Cowboy Cast,